You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Take a moment to let that sink in. Imagine living in a world where your inner peace isn't shaken by what happens around you. A world where your mind is your greatest ally, not your enemy. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's the core of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has stood the test of time, teaches us how to cultivate resilience, wisdom, and inner peace in the face of life's challenges. It's a guide for those who seek to master themselves rather than be mastered by their circumstances. In this video, we're diving into 10 essential don'ts from Stoicism, 10 principles that, if embraced, can transform the way you live, think, and interact with the world around you. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're practical steps to a more fulfilling life. So, let me ask you, how often do you find yourself overwhelmed by external events? How often do you wish for more control over your own mind? If the answer is too often, then this video is for you. Let's embark on this journey together and discover how these Stoic don'ts can guide you toward a life of greater strength and serenity. Imagine for a moment the weight of a life lived for the approval of others. The constant need to be seen, liked, and praised. It's like carrying a heavy burden that grows with each passing day. Every compliment feels fleeting, and every criticism cuts deep, leaving you questioning your worth. It's an exhausting way to live, always chasing after something that seems just out of reach. But here's the truth that Stoicism reveals. The approval you seek is already within you. The world outside is ever-changing, unpredictable, and beyond your control. But what remains constant is the power you hold over your own mind, the ability to validate yourself, to set your own standards, and to live in alignment with your true self. When you stop seeking validation from others, you begin to tap into a deeper well of strength and confidence. You realize that your worth isn't determined by how others perceive you, but by how you perceive yourself. You become free from the chains of insecurity and anxiety that come with external validation, and you start to live authentically, guided by your own inner compass. So how can you practice this? Start by setting personal goals that reflect who you truly are, not who you think others want you to be. Measure your success by your own standards, not by the applause or approval of others. When you accomplish something, take a moment to celebrate it within yourself, to acknowledge your own effort and growth. This is where true fulfillment lies, not in the fleeting opinions of others, but in the quiet, unwavering approval that comes from within. Remember, the only person you truly need to impress is the one you see in the mirror. When you embrace this, you begin to live a life that is not only free but deeply, powerfully your own. Think about the last time you complained about something, whether it was the weather, a setback at work, or a difficult person in your life. In that moment, how did you feel? Likely frustrated, powerless, and trapped in a cycle of negativity. Complaining, after all, is like shouting into a void. It changes nothing, and yet it drains you of your energy and peace. But what if you could see these challenges differently? Stoicism teaches us that complaining is a form of resistance to reality, a futile attempt to wish away what is. When we complain, we push against the flow of life, and in doing so, we create our own suffering. Instead of accepting what is, we fight it, and that fight exhausts us. The Stoics offer us a powerful alternative, amor fati, a love of fate. This isn't just about accepting life's events, it's about embracing them, seeing each moment, no matter how difficult, as necessary and meaningful. When we love our fate, we stop resisting the circumstances of our lives. We begin to understand that every experience, every challenge, is a part of our unique journey, shaping us into who we are meant to be. Imagine the freedom that comes with this mindset. Instead of complaining about a setback, you could see it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become stronger. Instead of lamenting what you cannot change, you could focus on what you can, your attitude, your response, your perspective. This shift from resistance to acceptance, from complaint to gratitude, transforms not only how you experience life, but how life unfolds for you. So how can you practice this? The next time you find yourself wanting to complain, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this challenge serve me? Then, find something to be grateful for in the situation, no matter how small. This simple act of reframing turns obstacles into stepping stones, and it allows you to move forward with grace and resilience. Remember, life isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about embracing them. When you learn to love your fate, you discover that every twist and turn in your journey is a gift, guiding you toward your highest self. And in that acceptance, you find a peace that no external circumstance can take away. We've all been there, caught in the grip of powerful emotions, feeling as if we're being pulled in 1,000 different directions. In those moments, it's easy to say or do things we later regret, to make decisions that lead us away from the life we truly want. Emotions, when unchecked, can cloud our judgment, distorting reality and driving us into chaos. But what if I told you that you don't have to be at the mercy of your emotions? Stoicism teaches us that while emotions are natural, they should never be our masters. When we allow our emotions to control us, we surrender our power, letting fleeting feelings dictate our actions and our lives. The Stoics believed in the power of rational thought, the ability to step back, take a deep breath, and observe our emotions without being swept away by them. This is where true strength lies, not in suppressing emotions, but in understanding and guiding them. By cultivating self-discipline, we can transform emotional reactions into deliberate responses, aligning our actions with our highest values rather than our momentary impulses. Imagine the freedom that comes with this mastery. Instead of reacting with anger when someone wrongs you, you respond with calmness, choosing a path that leads to resolution rather than conflict. Instead of being overwhelmed by fear or anxiety, you ground yourself in the present moment, seeing clearly and acting with purpose. So, how can you begin to master your emotions? Start with simple practices like deep breathing. When you feel emotions rising, take a few slow, deep breaths, allowing yourself a moment of clarity before you respond. Embrace mindfulness, paying attention to your thoughts and feelings without judgment, simply observing them as they pass. Journaling is another powerful tool. Writing down your emotions can help you gain perspective, turning confusion into understanding. Each of these practices is a step toward greater self-mastery. The more you practice, the more you'll find that your emotions no longer control you. Instead, you'll be guided by a calm, centered mind, capable of making decisions that reflect who you truly are, even in the midst of life's storms. Remember, your emotions are not your enemy. They are signals, messages from within. But it's up to you to decide how to respond to them. When you learn to master your emotions, you reclaim your power. You become the author of your own life, no longer driven by the winds of emotion, but guided by the steady hand of wisdom. Time, our most precious yet most fleeting resource. Unlike money, status, or possessions, time cannot be earned back once it's gone. The Stoics understood this deeply, teaching that every moment we have is a gift, a fragment of life that we can never reclaim. And yet, how often do we let these moments slip through our fingers, lost to distractions, trivial pursuits, and meaningless activities? When we waste time on things that don't matter, we are, in essence, wasting life itself. Every second spent on trivialities is a second that could have been devoted to what truly matters: our growth, our relationships, our purpose. The Stoics urge us to guard our time fiercely, to be vigilant about how we spend it, and to ensure that our days are filled with meaning. But what does this look like in practice? It begins with clarity, understanding what truly matters to you. Is it cultivating wisdom, building deep, meaningful relationships, contributing to something greater than yourself? Once you know what's important, you can start to focus your time and energy there, letting go of the distractions that pull you away from your path. So, how can you begin to prioritize your time? Start by identifying the activities in your life that bring real value and fulfillment. Make a list of your top priorities, those things that align with your deepest values and long-term goals. Then, take an honest look at how you currently spend your time. Are there tasks, habits, or even people that drain your energy without adding to your life? If so, it's time to reassess and make changes. Eliminate or minimize time-wasting activities, whether it's mindless scrolling on social media, engaging in gossip, or worrying about things beyond your control. Replace them with actions that nourish your soul and propel you toward your goals. Consider using tools like time blocking or setting daily intentions to keep yourself on track. Each moment you reclaim is a step closer to living a life of purpose and fulfillment. When you focus on what truly matters, you start to realize that your time is your life, and how you spend it shapes who you are and who you become. The distractions of the world may be many, but your time is limited. Use it wisely, with intention, and watch as your life transforms into something profoundly meaningful. Remember, life isn't measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Don't let the trivial rob you of the extraordinary. Choose to spend your time on what truly matters, and in doing so, you'll find that you're not just living, you're truly alive. We live in a world that constantly invites comparison. Social media, success stories, and the lives of others are displayed before us like a never-ending highlight reel, tempting us to measure our worth against what we see. But when we compare ourselves to others, we often come away feeling less successful, less worthy, less content. Comparison breeds envy, dissatisfaction, and a deep sense of inadequacy, robbing us of our joy and peace. The Stoics knew that the path to true fulfillment isn't found in the lives of others, but within ourselves. When we compare, we lose sight of our own journey, our own progress, and the unique path that life has laid out for us. Instead of looking outward, Stoicism teaches us to look inward, to cultivate contentment with who we are and where we are, knowing that our worth isn't defined by how we stack up against others, but by how we live in alignment with our own values and potential. Imagine a life where you are free from the burden of comparison, a life where your focus is solely on your own growth, your own progress, your own happiness. In this life, you measure success not by the standards of others, but by your own personal milestones. You celebrate your unique path, recognizing that it is yours alone, with its own timing and its own purpose. So how can you break free from the trap of comparison? Start by practicing daily reflection. At the end of each day, take a moment to look back, not at what others have done, but at what you've accomplished, how you've grown, and the steps you've taken on your own journey. Write these reflections down, no matter how small they may seem. Over time, you'll begin to see your own progress, your own victories, and you'll find contentment in the knowledge that you are moving forward on your own terms. Remember, the only person you need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself and let go of the need to measure up to anyone else. Your journey is uniquely yours, and it is unfolding exactly as it should. When you embrace this truth, you free yourself from envy and dissatisfaction, and you open the door to a life filled with self-worth, peace, and genuine happiness. In the end, the path to a fulfilled life isn't found by looking at the footsteps of others, but by walking your own path with confidence, gratitude, and unwavering faith in who you are becoming. Trust in your journey, focus on your growth, and watch as your life blossoms in ways you never imagined possible. In the heat of the moment, when emotions run high and stress is overwhelming, it's all too easy to react impulsively. We lash out in anger, speak words we don't truly mean, or make decisions that we'll later regret. These impulsive reactions, driven by raw emotion rather than reason, often escalate problems rather than solving them, leaving us tangled in a web of regret and further conflict. The Stoics understood that our immediate reactions are not always our best responses. When we react impulsively, we surrender control to our emotions, allowing them to dictate our actions and create turmoil in our lives. Instead, Stoicism teaches us the power of pausing and reflecting, a moment of stillness before we respond. This practice allows us to step back from the emotional storm and consider our response with clarity and wisdom. Imagine the transformation that occurs when you take a moment to pause before reacting. Instead of reacting with anger to a conflict, you take a deep breath and choose a path of calm, thoughtful response. Instead of making a rash decision in the heat of frustration, you take time to reflect and choose a course of action that aligns with your values and long-term goals. This simple pause can prevent countless misunderstandings and conflicts, paving the way for more harmonious and constructive interactions. So, how can you cultivate this practice of pause? Start with a simple but powerful technique. Count to 10. When you feel the surge of emotion, take a few deep breaths and slowly count to 10. This brief moment of calm allows you to distance yourself from the immediate reaction and choose a more measured response. Another effective method is mindfulness, becoming aware of your emotional state without being overwhelmed by it. When you notice your emotions rising, take a moment to observe them without judgment. Ask yourself, what is driving this emotion? How can I respond in a way that reflects my best self? By incorporating these practices into your life, you'll find that you respond with greater composure, clarity, and purpose. You'll be better equipped to handle challenges without being swept away by the tide of impulsive reactions. Remember, your true power lies in your ability to choose how you respond to life's challenges. By pausing and reflecting, you reclaim control over your actions and decisions, leading to a more peaceful and intentional life. Embrace this practice, and you'll find yourself navigating the complexities of life with grace and wisdom, turning potential conflicts into opportunities for growth and understanding. Imagine carrying a heavy, invisible weight, one that seems to grow with each grudge you hold, each resentment you harbor. It's a burden that seeps into every corner of your life, tainting your relationships, clouding your mind, and sapping your energy. Holding on to grudges is like gripping a burning coal, expecting it to hurt the other person. In reality, it only scorches your own soul. The Stoics understood that holding on to resentment is profoundly toxic and counterproductive. When we cling to grudges, we are not only holding ourselves back from experiencing joy and peace, but we are also allowing past wrongs to dominate our present lives. Resentment acts as a poison, preventing us from moving forward and fostering bitterness instead of healing. But what if you could release this burden and find freedom? Stoicism teaches the transformative power of forgiveness and letting go. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful actions or forgetting the past. It's about liberating yourself from the chains of anger and resentment. It's a gift you give to yourself, allowing you to reclaim your inner peace and emotional well-being. So, how can you let go of grudges and embrace forgiveness? Start by practicing empathy. Try to see the situation from the other person's perspective. Understand their actions, not to excuse them, but to gain insight into their humanity. Often we hold on to grudges because we see only the harm done to us, not the complexities of the other person's situation. Another powerful tool is writing a forgiveness letter. You don't have to send it. This is about freeing yourself from the grip of resentment Write down your feelings, express your hurt, and then move towards forgiveness. By articulating your emotions and consciously choosing to forgive, you begin to release the power that the grievance holds over you. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing to let go of the hold that past grievances have on your heart. It's about freeing yourself from the weight of resentment so you can move forward with a lighter, more open heart. Remember, the path to inner peace is paved with forgiveness and release. Holding on to grudges only keeps you tethered to past hurts, preventing you from fully embracing the present and future. When you let go, you open yourself to healing, growth, and the joy of a life lived without the burden of past grievances. Embrace forgiveness, and you'll discover that the greatest gift you can give yourself is a heart unburdened by anger and resentment. In this freedom, you find true peace and the space to cultivate a life filled with love, understanding, and boundless possibility. Failure. It's a word that often evokes fear, shame, and a sense of defeat. We've all experienced it in some form, and in those moments, it can feel like the end of the world. But what if I told you that failure is not an enemy, but a profound teacher? What if the setbacks and mistakes you fear are actually the stepping stones to your greatest growth? The Stoics understood that failure is an inevitable and natural part of life. They saw it not as a reflection of our worth, but as a valuable opportunity to learn and evolve. According to Stoic philosophy, every failure carries within it the seeds of wisdom and growth. It is through our failures that we gain insight, develop resilience, and refine our character. Imagine transforming your fear of failure into a source of strength. Instead of seeing failure as a sign of inadequacy, you begin to view it as a crucial part of your journey, a necessary experience that propels you forward. Each failure becomes a lesson, each setback a chance to improve and grow stronger. So, how can you reframe failure and embrace it as a stepping stone? Start by analyzing what went wrong. Instead of dwelling on the negative emotions, take a step back and evaluate the situation objectively. What were the contributing factors? What can you learn from this experience? By understanding the cause of your failure, you can gain valuable insights that will inform your future actions. Use failure as a catalyst for improvement. Reflect on the lessons learned and how you can apply them moving forward. Set new goals with the knowledge gained from your past experiences, and approach your next challenge with a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. Remember, every successful person has faced failure at some point. What sets them apart is their ability to rise from it, to learn, and to continue moving forward with greater wisdom and determination. Failure is not a destination, but a milestone on the path to success. Embrace failure as a friend rather than a foe. Let it teach you, shape you, and guide you toward your highest potential. In doing so, you will find that failure is not something to be feared, but a powerful force that drives you to grow, to strive, and to ultimately succeed. In the end, the greatest achievements are born not from avoiding failure, but from daring to face it head-on, learning from it, and using it to fuel your journey. Embrace failure with courage and an open heart, and watch as it transforms into the foundation of your greatest successes. In a world that constantly urges us to acquire more possessions, more status, more wealth, it's easy to fall into the trap of materialism. We are led to believe that happiness and fulfillment lie in the accumulation of things. But what if the pursuit of excess is actually leading us away from what truly matters? The Stoics taught that the quest for material possessions is often a distraction from a more profound truth. that true contentment and virtue come not from what we own, but from how we live. Excess can cloud our vision, create false needs, and pull us away from the essence of what makes life meaningful. When we accumulate more than we need, we often find ourselves overwhelmed, stressed, and unfulfilled, chasing after a mirage that never truly satisfies. Imagine living a life where your focus isn't on acquiring more, but on appreciating what you already have. Envision a life where simplicity reigns, where your values guide you, and where your possessions serve a purpose rather than dictate your happiness. This is not about renouncing comfort, but about finding joy and satisfaction in simplicity and virtue. So, how can you embrace simplicity and avoid the pitfalls of excess? Start by decluttering your life, both physically and mentally. Physically, take a look at your surroundings. What items do you possess that no longer serve a purpose or bring you joy? Consider letting go of things that are merely occupying space, and instead, focus on keeping only what truly enhances your life. Mentally, reflect on your priorities and values. What truly matters to you? What brings you genuine joy and fulfillment? Shift your focus from the pursuit of material gain to the pursuit of personal growth, meaningful relationships, and acts of kindness. Create a practice of gratitude, recognizing the value in the simple things: good health, loving relationships, a peaceful moment of reflection. By valuing these aspects of life, you can find a deeper sense of fulfillment that material possessions cannot provide. Remember, the pursuit of excess can often lead to a never-ending cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. By embracing simplicity and focusing on what truly matters, you free yourself from this cycle and open the door to a life of genuine contentment and purpose. In the end, the most profound riches are not those we accumulate, but those we cultivate within ourselves. Embrace simplicity, let go of excess, and find joy in the essence of life itself. In doing so, you'll discover a deep, lasting happiness that no amount of material wealth could ever match. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, it's all too easy to become consumed by external demands, work, social obligations, and daily responsibilities. We often find ourselves so engrossed in the noise of the outside world that we neglect the most important relationship we have, the one with ourselves. Yet, amidst the clamor and chaos, there lies a profound truth. True fulfillment begins within. The Stoics understood that to live a life of purpose and serenity, we must first turn inward. Ignoring our inner life is like neglecting the roots of a tree. Without deep, nurturing roots, the tree cannot thrive. Self-reflection, meditation, and a rich inner life are not merely optional practices, but essential elements for cultivating inner tranquility and wisdom. Imagine a life where you take time each day to connect with your inner self, a life where you regularly pause to reflect, to listen, and to understand your own thoughts and feelings. In this space, you find clarity and peace, a sanctuary from the noise and confusion of the external world. You begin to understand yourself on a deeper level, gaining insight into your values, desires, and purpose. So, how can you cultivate a richer inner life? Start by incorporating daily practices like journaling or meditation. Set aside a few quiet moments each day to write down your thoughts and feelings, to explore your inner landscape with honesty and curiosity. This practice of journaling allows you to externalize your inner experiences, offering clarity and perspective. Meditation is another powerful tool for connecting with your inner self. By sitting in stillness and focusing on your breath, you create a space for self-discovery and inner peace. Meditation helps you to observe your thoughts without judgment, fostering a sense of calm and self-awareness. In addition to journaling and meditation, consider moments of quiet reflection throughout your day. Whether it's a brief pause during a busy workday or a few minutes of solitude before sleep, these moments of stillness allow you to reconnect with your inner self and maintain a sense of balance. Remember, your inner life is the wellspring from which all other aspects of your life flow. By nurturing this inner world, you cultivate a foundation of tranquility, wisdom, and resilience that enhances every facet of your existence. Embrace the practice of self-reflection and introspection, and you'll find that your inner life becomes a source of profound strength and serenity. In knowing yourself deeply, you unlock the true potential of your life, creating a harmony between your inner world and the external world. Let your inner journey be the guiding light that leads you to a life of purpose, peace, and fulfillment. As we come to the end of our exploration into the 10 Stoic don'ts, let's briefly recap the wisdom we've uncovered. We learned not to seek external validation, recognizing that true approval must come from within. We discovered the importance of avoiding complaints about circumstances, embracing life's events with the Stoic principle of amor fati. We examined the power of not letting emotions control us, choosing rational thought over impulsive reactions. We reflected on the necessity of not wasting time on trivial matters, focusing instead on what truly matters. We understood the value of not comparing ourselves to others, embracing our unique journey with self-contentment. We confronted the danger of holding grudges, realizing that forgiveness is the key to inner peace. We faced our fear of failure, seeing it as a stepping stone to growth and wisdom. We acknowledged the pitfalls of accumulating excess, striving instead for simplicity and virtue. And finally, we embraced the importance of not ignoring our inner life, nurturing our self-awareness and inner tranquility. Now, as you reflect on these principles, I encourage you to start integrating them into your life today. Each Stoic don't offers a pathway to greater resilience, deeper fulfillment, and inner peace. By adopting these practices, you embark on a journey towards a life of profound purpose and serenity. If you found this video valuable, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content on Stoic philosophy and personal development. Your support helps us continue to share these transformative ideas. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.